Hey friends, hey! Welcome to my channel. This is Teresa. You are tuned into Conversation with Boy You Know. And on here, I empower you to maintain and develop relationships with those around you and the relationship with yourself. I educate you through conversations and I entertain you. So please follow me on YouTube, Conversation with Boy You Know, and on my Facebook page, Conversation with Boy You Know. Let's jump right into this message.
Baby, you driving me wild, you driving me so crazy. Got me acting out, got me trying to stay sober. Wanted your love and I'm out here hungover. You made me wanna take you to London, Paris. Times were cherished. No comparing to you. Don't need Keisha, Karen, don't want Megan, Sharon. Girl, I swear that it ain't fair that all the pretty girls, they got nothing on you. They got nothing on you. Yeah, all the pretty girls, they got nothing on you. They got nothing on you. Girl, you know you cute.
Hey friends, hey! And welcome to Let the Truth Be Told. You are tuned into Conversation with Boy You Know. On this channel is to give you a new and profound mindset on relationships around you and the relationship with yourself, to empower you, educate you, and entertain you all through conversations. Today, today's topic, I'm going to be talking about peer pressure. And we all know, we all been there, we all experienced it. And if you're going through it, here is something you should consider. So today, I'm going to be telling you about peer pressure. We all experience it. And we each individually have our own story. And you can't just go to anyone or everyone and be explaining what your story is. Everyone has peers, and peers can be your friends or similar age with the same interests and experiences as you. That's also your peers, or who are involved in the same activities, part of your community or a group you belong to. You may not consider all your peers to be your friends, but they can influence you. They can influence you, and I'm gonna go more into that because people on a different mindset thinking that, oh, I can be friends with this person and what they do is what they do. It have no impact, it have no influence on me, and that's just not true. That's just not true, because who you with have a huge impact and influence over you. Regardless, intentionally or not, they have an influence over you. When you and that person are close, you do things together personally, you hang out, you're friends, you do things together. Regardless of having separate interests, as long as you're friends, eat together, do things together, talk on phone, socialize with each other, that friend have a huge influence over you, and you have a huge influence over that friends. Regardless if you believe it is major that those people who are around you, who you are around, can influence you. Knowingly or unknowingly, they can influence you. So peer pressure can be positive or it can be negative. When peer pressure is positive, it encourages you, it pushes you to be your best, it brings out the best in you, it makes you to know yourself, it makes you to redefine, it makes you to understand a lot more than just being closed-minded or just being isolated. So when there is a positive peer pressure in your life, it can bring out the best in you. It can bring out the best in you. But when it's negative, and you may not even notice it. You'll be so defensive. You'll be so You'll be so defensive and you're always trying to support, but it's negative. It is negative. When there's a negative impact over you, you are so supportive, so defensive immediately. You don't even have a change of thought. You don't even have a chance to even think things through. You're so defensive and so supportive quickly. That's how you know there's a negative influence over you when you have no minds of your own. You can think for yourself. You don't even do things on your own. Your first impulse is to defend, to be supportive. That's your first impulse. That's how you know that you are being negatively influenced by that person. When the first instance is to be defensive and supportive, because truthfully, you're supposed to have a mind of your own. You're supposed to be able to think for yourself, speak for yourself, and be able to come up with reasoning and solutions. Don't just be a duplicate or quote-unquote copycat. You can be your own self. Plagiarism is illegal, is against the law. When you are under peer pressure negatively, it makes you feel like you have to do something or you have to be someone just to be accepted. Like you need to be validated by what you do and those who you are with. So they validate you. That's how you know that it's a negative influence over you. When you always feel that you need to do things to be accepted and to be validated. Negative peer pressure makes you to go against your beliefs, your values, and your morals. And truthfully, those who are impacted in a negative way, they will tell you they are disappointed and they feel guilty. When they have their alone time, it plays on their mind. They feel guilty. They're disappointed in themselves. That they always find themselves in positions that is not at their benefit. Some example of negative peer pressure are needing to dress or act a certain way. If you have to dress or act a certain way on social media around your friends, you need to reevaluate yourself immediately. So you're supposed to be yourself, not living on anyone's opinions of you. Be respectful and understand their point of view and where they're coming from. But you have to take that time. I cannot stress it enough. You have to take that time to get to know yourself, know what you like, know what you don't like. You have to do a lot of self-healing. You got to know what you want in this life, because if you don't know what you want, people are just going to hand you what they want to hand you. And you can't blame them. If you don't know what you want, you don't expect them to know what you want. So whatever they think about you is how they're going to treat you. How you carry yourself is how you'll be treated. You have to always keep that in the back of your mind. Another example is projecting a misleading image on social media. You shouldn't believe half of the things on social media. And now, as others are coming on, you have to do your research. This is a very resourceful country. It is highly developed. Resources are available. Now, it's you that's being lazy to get the resource and get the correct resource to fit your need. So, when you're on social media, you have to be able to read between the lines. They're projecting a different image of themselves on social media and misleading people into a lifestyle. There are actual people who are born into that lifestyle, and those individuals are different. If they are born into the lifestyle and what the lifestyle was given to them, that's what was given to them. These are celebrity kids. They were born into that lifestyle. Now they will have to choose to either accept their lifestyle or isolate themselves and find themselves. Another example, shoplifting and stealing. A lot of people shoplift and steal, and you have no idea. They'll come out looking the finest, the most labeled. Don't be fooled. Either it's fake or it's shoplifted. Not to say everyone does it, are now working to earn what they have. That's not what I'm trying to say. There are some people, because I work and I earned what I have. So if I can do it, it is possible. Everyone can do it too. But there are that percentage of other people who are not doing so. You have to be able to distinguish from the two and know the difference. So some peer pressure can come from stealing and shoplifting because you feel like, oh, they're not getting caught, or nobody really care how they got it. They just have it. That's all that matters. So you too, you want to jump on the wagon and start to do it, but you have no idea. Not everyone cannot get away with the same thing. Just because they doing it and getting away with it, that doesn't mean you should do it or you can do it and get away with it. Finding out not to be true quickly. Engaging in sexual activities, all because it's popular, or because everyone is doing it, or you don't want to be left out. That is not the right approach to take. You'll be surprised. They're not going to tell you. They are not going to tell you what all they're going through. And honestly, you shouldn't want to know. So do not just start to do it just because it is popular. Everyone is doing it. It is common. It's okay. That doesn't make it okay because everyone is doing it. No. Using drugs or alcohol, all because you're at a party and everybody else is doing it. So that means you have to be a part of the crew, or you want to be the black sheep if you're left out. Be left out. Sometimes it's okay to be left out. Taking dangerous risks in general, and that can be financially or physically. Just because everyone is doing it, that doesn't make it right. I'm a Christian, so you have to really know the word. You have to know the gospel. You have to know, and you can find out. You can truly find out if you really want to know. It says it in the Bible. If you search with your whole heart, you will find what you're looking for. You have to search with your whole heart to be able to find what you are looking for. Here are strategies to help you with peer pressure. You have to really pay attention to how you feel. Truly pay attention to how you're feeling around people. Be particular about how you want people to treat you, to talk to you, to handle you. Be very particular on how you want people and others to treat you. How you want them to talk to you. It could be your friend, it can be a professional workplace, it can be a romantic relationship. Paying attention to how you feel around people, especially around your close, intimate group. You have to be able to trust them. You have to be able to be yourself around them. You have to be able to know that they have your best interest at heart. They are protecting you. You are protecting them. You feel safe. They're dependable, reliable, supportive. Your close circle have to be tight. The only thing that can come between it is air. That's it. Your close circle have to be tight. So you have to pay attention to how you're feeling, how they are treating you, and how they are talking to you. You have to pay attention to it. Have friends with similar values, similar plans, and goals as you. You have to be around people who have similar vision as you. Not to say that you cannot entertain or be around other people who have different interests. I'm friends with people who have different interests. That's okay, but there has to be a boundaries. You have to know this is the line and it cannot be crossed. Know those things. And if you don't know them, you give others the opportunity to tell you what you don't know. And because you don't know it, whatever they tell you, you're going to fall for it. Just like the old people say, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And that is true. Because if what you don't know, and when someone's telling you something, how are you going to check fact what they're telling you if you don't know? You have to first know to be able to intellectually have that conversation and have a backbone to be able to stand on something like, no, this is facts and this is false. You also have to understand that other people who are in your life, sometimes they're in your life for a reason, for a season. You have to understand that not everyone is in your life for the long run. I had to understand that. I now understand that not everyone is in my life for the long run. And when you first meet people, you have plans for your lives to prolong and make memories with each other. But sometimes it's just not that way. People are in your life for a reason and for some season. You have to understand that, accept it. Once you understand and accept that, you will now have a new profound thoughts. Because not everyone is in your life for the long run. And if you go about life thinking that everyone's going to be there, and if they're not, you're mad, you're upset, you're frustrated, you think that it's the end of the world, you have a lot of growing and maturing to do. Because sometimes, I have now realized, sometimes when a relationship ends, it can be friendship, romantic relationship, it can be family. Whenever some relationship ends in your life, surround yourself by mature adults, someone who is higher than you or who is doing better than you. And don't get me wrong, not every adult is mature. I discovered that. Not every adult is mature. Some are just a waste of old age. They have no wisdom. They're very childish, immature, rude, inconsiderate. I mean, the list goes on. They are very childish. So not every adult, based on their age, is mature. You'll learn it the hard way if you don't understand what I'm saying to you right now. So you have to make sure that the adults that you are around is mature. Because just because they have age on them, that doesn't make them mature. Some are just a waste of old age. They are not mature one bit. They're very childish. They feel a sense of entitlement based on their age. And that just don't cut it. That just don't cut it. So you have to understand, you have to know, be around people who are on a higher level than you, who you can learn from, who inspire you, who you can actually get real and truthful advice from. Because you see how they live their lives. You understand how they struggle, what they're doing, and how they're getting things, not just about what they're telling you, but you see it with your two eyes, their work ethic. You see how they handle other people around you, how they maintain relationships around you, how they maintain relationships with other people, and yet just have respect for them. Others have respect for them based on not just their status, but how they treat people and how they talk to people and their education, their experiences, and so forth. Be attentive to those details because detail matters. Detail matters. Like I told you in my last video, sweat the small stuff. The small stuff are principles. Sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff. No. Sweat the small stuff because that's where your principle lies. Pay keen attention to details because detail matters and detail can explain a lot and also save you. And last, you communicate with other people. Know what you want. If you don't know what you want, how you expect them to know it? So you have to know what you want. You have to know what it is you want and how to achieve that thing that you want. To get the information down, you gotta work for it. Yes, you pray, but at the end of the day, you gotta go for it. Like my pastor said, you have to apply prayer and action. Prayer and action go together. You can't just pray and then sit and expect it to happen. Prayer and action go together. So if you pray, you have to go after it. And then you have to act like you want it. Act like you want it. So, with that being said, I hope this helps. And you know, I let the truth be so. You take it or you leave it, but you will hear it. Conversation with Boy, you know.